Quick question. You have Medicare Part D, but if someone asked you right now to explain how it actually works, could you do it? Most people can't. And honestly, that's not their fault. Nobody explained it. So let's fix that. Right now, in 5 minutes. I'm a licensed pharmacist. I've spent years watching patients hand over more money than they should at the pharmacy counter. And most of the time, it comes down to one thing. They didn't know how their own coverage worked. Quick note before we go. Everything in this video is for education only. It is not personal medical or insurance advice. For your specific plan details, always check medicare.gov. Okay, here's the thing about Part D that nobody tells you up front. Part D is not run by the government. Medicare sets the rules, but your actual plan. That's run by a private insurance company. Think United Healthcare, Humana, CVS, and every single one of those plans can be different. Different drugs covered, different costs, different rules. So when your neighbor says, "Oh, I pay $12 for that," and you're paying $60, you're not doing anything wrong. You might just be on a different plan. That's why understanding how this works isn't just interesting. It's worth real money. All right, Part D has 3 phases. Think of it like a video game. 3 levels, and knowing which level you're on changes everything about how you play. But Level 1, the deductible. At the start of every year, January 1st, the clock resets. And until you've spent up to $615 out of pocket on your medications in 2026, you're in deductible territory. Your plan isn't paying much yet, you are. Now, not every plan charges the full $615. Some charge less, some charge $0 for generics. And here's something most people don't know. If you take insulin, the deductible doesn't apply to you for that medication. Neither does it apply to most recommended vaccines. Those are covered from day 1, no deductible. Worth knowing, right? Level 2, initial coverage. Once you've hit your deductible, you're here. And this is where most people spend most of their year. In this phase, you generally pay around 25% of your drug costs, but your exact amount can vary, depending on your plan and which tier your medication falls on. Generic drugs? Usually cheap. Brand names? More expensive. Specialty drugs? That's where things get spicy. Here's the key thing to understand. Your plan has a list called a formulary. That's the menu of drugs your plan covers. And at what cost. Not every drug is on every plan's formulary. And where your drug sits on that list, which tier, directly determines what you pay. This is why 2 people with Medicare Part D can pay completely different amounts for the exact same medication. And now, Level 3. This is the one I'm most excited to tell you about, because this one actually changed recently, and most people have no idea. Level 3 is called Catastrophic Coverage. Once your out-of-pocket costs for covered Part D drugs hit $2,100 in 2026, you stop paying completely, $0 for the rest of the year. Now I know what some of you are thinking. $2,100 sounds like a lot, and for patients on basic generics, you may never get there. But for anyone on expensive brand name drugs, specialty medications, cancer treatments, this is a massive deal, because in 2024, just 2 years ago, the threshold was $8,000. $8,000 out of pocket before your costs stopped. That changed. The Inflation Reduction Act capped it. In 2026, the cap is $2,100. And after that, your covered drugs cost you nothing for the rest of the year. That is genuinely good news, and you deserved to know it. Oh, and one more thing, you may have heard of something called the donut hole. Maybe your parents mentioned it. Maybe you lived through it yourself. The donut hole was a coverage gap that used to exist where patients suddenly had to pay a much higher share of their drug costs. It was confusing, it was stressful, and for a lot of patients, it came completely out of nowhere every year. It's gone. As of January 2025, eliminated. Done. No more donut hole. 3 phases. That's it. So here's what you now know. that most Medicare patients don't. Part D has 3 phases: deductible, initial coverage, catastrophic. The deductible resets every January. During initial coverage, you generally pay around 25%, though your exact costs vary by plan and drug tier. And once you hit $2,100 out of pocket in 2026, your covered drugs are free for the rest of the year. Insulin and most recommended vaccines, no deductible. The donut hole, gone. And here's what I want to leave you with. Knowing this is step 1, but knowing how to use it, how to pick the right plan, how to lower what you pay right now, and programs that could reduce your costs to near zero if you qualify, that's the next video. And trust me, that one might actually save you money before the week is over. If this finally made Part D make sense, subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from. I made a free Medicare Part D checklist that breaks all of this down on one page. Link is in the description. See you in the next one.